Guys, what's going on? It's a Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now we're going to take a quick look at the crypto bulls before we do dive into the charts, because there is a sea of red with the exception of a few green bubbles. As you can see, ZBEC is still up 20% on the week, XDC also up 3.5%, and we've also got VRA, Veracity, that has the proof of view technology. Okay, so this video is simply going to be mainly about XCN, but we're also going to cover a little bit of VRA. We'll take a look at the charts towards the end of this video. So if you guys want to stick around for Veracity, which is a fantastic opportunity in my view, stick around for that. So without diving into XCN and the VRA charts just yet, we're going to take a look at the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10 coins. So this doesn't include Bitcoin, Ethereum, the likes of XRP and Solana, etc. So there's still a downside risk in terms of what I can see here on the charts here. So we've actually marked out the all-time highs up here from this cycle here. We did have that sort of high post-US election highs. That was back at the end of 2024. That was December of 24 actually. So you know what, altcoin seasons have been down massively, and you can see here since sort of US election highs, we're actually down 60% there at these sort of lows, and at this sort of current sort of state here, we're still down 40%. So we've not seen any price action really in terms of positive price action for the sort of altcoins, if you will. So what we're looking to do here is simply get back up to these sort of highs here before we can actually, see some parabolic sort of state in the crypto landscape. So, we're looking at a positive expectancy of around 68%. However, in my view, there's still a risk of us actually tapping this sort of trend line that's acting as a sort of key support for crypto as well. So there could be some more downside to come across many sort of altcoins. Now, this is sort of stipulating that we can fall, I would say, around that sort of 14. Could even come a little bit lower, maybe 14, 15% dip. So the risk to reward element is in our favor. So if you're on the fence in regards to sort of buying and selling crypto, I would be looking to buy. Obviously, I do a little bit of trading on the sideline. So 10, 15, 20% does make a big difference. If you're ever down in terms of a trade, for instance, I'm down on a trade with God's coin. I took a trade recently and that absolutely tanked. Nevertheless, it's looking up for a massive setup now. So it's like a pump and dump coin, which I'm sort of trying to capitalize on, guys. But I will sort of break even, if not make profits. It's just a case of hodling. Now we've got the sort of altcoins out of the way. Let's dive into XCN chart as well. So what we're going to do is just filter through. In fact, let's filter through the symbols as well. It may be easy to locate XCN. So this is the XCN chart right here, which is why predominantly a lot of you guys are tuning into this particular video. So what we've got here, we've got the, again, supply and demand zone. Got this red trend line coming out here. So this is sort of Monday, around Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This is the end of January of 25. Okay, and we've come down into this sort of apex. We got a sort of, in previous videos actually highlighted how XCN Onyx coin actually took a direction. So we actually brought to the upside. So that was telling me that we're in a positive sort of trajectory, and we are looking to break out once we get to this apex in a positive manner. So we come back down here, as you can see. We come back down here to retest this sort of line. We've got another bounce still. We haven't really got the sort of fuel to take this rocket ship into the stratosphere right now. And we're still trading along this sort of key level of sort of support. So for me, XCN is still holding support. Now, what was crucial that we did notice going into this weekend was XCN was losing the bottom trend line, okay? So even if I just lend this sort of trend line here, yeah, you can see here, if I just bring it in, what we're looking to do is capture these closes as well. Again, this is signaling and highlighting a sort of area of support down here. So you see where we've got this sort of interaction with this red line. XCN coin absolutely sent up there, and we was actually up and spiked into a 255% positive equity. Yes, we did roll over and we did sort of consolidate before we did gradually come back down to this red line. But anytime we come back down to this red line, we see a massive up thrust, or at least a bounce, as you can see. Now, this is a concerning sort of price action in recent days. Where we have been sort of sounding the alarm. So this could be a possible fake out, or this could be well and truly, detrimental to Onyx XCN coin, which has been forming a massive sort of structure. Like I say, ever since we got this sort of takeoff here, this was mid-January before we topped out. So it literally took, 10 days from XCN to go from all the way down here to up there. So I'll even give you guys a rough figure of how much we actually accelerated by. So that was like a 20x, and 20x was over sort of 10 days. So 20x in 10 days. And this is the thing, guys. If you're outside of the market with XCN, you can literally miss a 20x move within the space of 10 days. It's absolutely remarkable. But for me right now, there is still a cause for concern. So what I'd be looking for Onyx XCN coin to do is get back up to this sort of moving target. Obviously, this sort of red trend line, the more days that pass throughout the week, obviously the higher we have to go in order to sort of retake that area of interest. Now, at this current moment, sort of you heavily invested in crypto right now, you need the best tools at your disposal. So why not consider joining the crypto Discord, which features AI technology, covering all of your favorite and the most popular cryptos out there. Key features would include the AI crypto data, the metrics, the trade setups, price targets, heat maps, technical indicators, the traders lounge, and much, much more. Take advantage of your free trial today. Link below in the description. Moment in time where we're currently trading, Onyx XCN sort of has to sort of reclaim this sort of red trend line, like I say. So that's around 5-6% away. So this is the sort of areas that you need to monitor on Onyx XCN coin for us to, you know, flip bullish again. The thing is, though, we're always running the risk because, like I say, at these levels, we can absolutely fly in the space of that's one day there. So the good thing is with Onyx XCN, even though it does fly, you can sort of hop in. You can see this sort of closure candle. I don't know, to be fair, that was 120% move. I'm just looking at these sort of candles in terms of the move on the sort of daily. That was a 40% move. So what I'm saying is, guys, before we actually reclaim this could actually, you know, move 40% before you actually realise that we're back above and trading above in positive territory, guys. Do you know what I mean? So it's pretty much touch and go. So I've just highlighted anyway the risk involved. So what I would also like to highlight is where Onyx XN could actually fall to if this is an official breakdown now. So if this isn't a fake out and we do decide to break down, I do expect us to start falling into this purple order block. And the reason being is I'm just going to highlight for you guys now, if I zoom out on the sort of daily patterns, you can see here. So I like to see price action interacting with previous sort of market sort of structure. And for me, this stands out significantly around this sort of order block here. This is what we yet to retest, guys. So there could be a retest here. And you can see the order block here. It's also capturing this sort of high as well. This was a significant high in my view. This was the sort of 24 high. As you can see, we didn't quite get up to there. So this is the high. We're yet to retest the 2024 high for Onyx coin. So you know what? Onyx XCN coin is still at risk of actually capitulating and actually retesting, or at least spiking into this price action. Now you can see this massive spike down here. This is when we're trading all the way back up here. It's absolutely massive. This is a terrifying sort of price action, which Onyx XCN coin has demonstrated in the past. So Onyx at this point is trading around approximately 15 cent around this sort of area. 15 cent, and we absolutely wick down. This is the thing. It's absolutely, look at that, 97, I would say, 96, 97%, even 99. You know what? You're losing 98, 99% of your money before we do see a sort of retracement. That is one daily candle. So in the space of a day, you can literally lose 98% of your money if you was to panic and fold. Obviously, we did see that sort of rebound. But for me, this is as low as Onyx XCN coin can go. Like I say, I would like to sort of retest that if we are to officially break down here. So in terms of a breakdown here, this is current price action. For us to reach that order block there, it's around 60%. If it was to sort of retag the 24 high down here, you're talking about 70%. So that to me is the risk involved right now with Onyx XCN coin, which is why I'm not all in. I've got a little bit of dry powder. I've got 15% of my portfolio is in dry powder. And what I've done is placed orders in this sort of purple order block here. So if it does roll over, you're not completely screwed. Do you know what I mean? You've actually got some spare capital, one, to pay your bills if we don't see any sort of positive price action before the 17th of September, because Fed rates are actually going up in terms of probability. It was only a couple of days ago that the next Fed rate, which is due to be announced, is 17th of September. So there is a 40% probability rates will be cut. That has actually sort of peaked up to around 80% in the past day or so, over the past 24 hours. So it's likely we're going to see a rate cut now. So this hopefully can sort of illustrate in the price action now. Hopefully we can recover, like say, the red trend line. Then I'll be a lot more optimistic in terms of reaching these sort of 5 cent levels before we do retake and reclaim all-time highs up at around sort of 19-20 cent. In my view, I do believe we are going much higher. I do believe right now this is a fake out. However, nothing is guaranteed, guys. It's all probabilities. Around, I would say, I would say there's about a 60% chance that we are going to go to the upside, and about probably around 30-40% chance that we are probably going to start, breaking down big time. Okay, like I say, the only sort of saving grace for me is the others, like I say, with this particular chart here. So in terms of altcoins, I've only got approximately 15% to sort of correct to the downside. So that's our saving grace. So that's where I stand with Onyx coin, guys. I'm hedging my bets at this moment in time. However, we are going to go into Veracity. We're not going to spend too long on this particular chart, but this is a Brucey bonus. I do believe we've got some massive gains to be had here. You can see VR8 is absolutely massive. Again, we've got this sort of red trend line highlighted here, sort of marking out these daily closes here. It could be a little bit more accurate here. So these are the highs back in 2024 of last year. Again, highs are running in here. So these are November post-US election highs. Again, we've got a little bit of price action here. And then we come into this apex. Again, 17th, 18th of September, when the Fed meeting does occur, we do reach an apex here. So this is where I'm expecting more price action. However, what I would say is, if we come into the hourly now, I can show you guys a fantastic chart. So again, guys, this is on the hourly. You can see this sort of bull pennant. Bull pennants statistically have a 65% chance of breaking to the upside and a 35% chance of breaking to the downside. So this move here, as we get into Monday, it is likely that VR8 is more likely to break to the upside. And if we do break to the upside, I would be expecting to hit this macro area of resistance. So you'll be talking approximately 40% sort of gain. That is around 0.0021, where I would be taking profits for Veracity. So you'd probably expect Veracity then to hit its head on the ceiling of the macro, which I'm going to show you guys now. Yeah, this is the macro trend line here. So like I say, 40% rally to hit our heads. And then what we'll probably be looking at doing then is, again, if I take us back out into the hourly, we'll probably be hitting our head on the ceiling, and then we'll probably capitulate to the downside and then look to sort of consolidate into this area into late September. Like I say, 17th, 18th September, I do expect to break out, and this is where likely that interest rates will be cut, and then literally all cryptos will literally fly, guys. So if you are struggling with the price action, I know it's looking a little bit bleak now, especially on a Sunday. Everybody's feeling sorry for themselves because they've got another week of work to look ahead to, with not much optimism in terms of the portfolio right now. But for me, stick with it, guys. You want to see what happens if, life does work out in your favor, guys. So just stick with it, guys, is what I'm saying. But for me, some sort of positive price action for VRA. So that would be my best bets. That looks more set than Onyx at this point, in my view. Like I said, Onyx can run up that 40% before you realize it's sort of reclaim that apex. Okay. But for me, the safer bet would be VRA right now. At least you're going to get sort of macro. The macro patterns are more optimistic in my view in comparison to XCN. So I'd be looking at sort of playing out this 40% now with VRA, then rotating back into sort of XCN just to be on the safe side. And then what you can do, if Onyx does then start playing ball, you can get back into Onyx XCN, and then if Veracity does hit its sort of head on the ceiling here and roll over to the downside, then you can start rotating again and start accumulating sort of VRA heading into this sort of macro apex. Now, if you manage to start accumulating VR8 at this apex, I'm just going to zoom out for you guys and show you the returns and investments that are in play here. So look at this. It's absolutely amazing. So this is what we're playing with down here. Absolutely incredible. Let's just highlight that again. So where are we? About 115. This is if we go into the apex, guys. If we go into the apex, you're looking at around 73, 74x to all-time highs, and I do believe that will probably happen rapidly. Yeah, once we get to the 17th, 18th of September, it'll begin to fly over those coming months, especially in sort of October. Altcoins may even float and sort of tipple into sort of November time. Like say, macro sort of cryptos are ahead of sort of schedule, if you will. For instance, like XRP, it's still up approximately about 6x even at these times post US elections. So yeah, some incredible times to come, guys, but just stay cautious. Make sure you're sort of hedging your bets, maybe have 15-20% dry powder. That's exactly what I'm doing to sort of buy those order blocks. Then at least if it does sort of crumble and you do get those breakdowns in price action before the Fed rates do get slashed, then you will be in a very, very strong position, guys. So it's all about taking positions in these markets, guys. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been the Block Bull. Until next time, the Block Bull is over and out.